let me address one of the most common myths that keeps busy people from even considering a raw vegan lifestyle. And that's this belief that you don't have time to prepare raw meals. That is too labor-intensive, too complicated, too time-consuming to fit into a busy schedule. People imagine spending hours in the kitchen every single day, chopping vegetables, making elaborate recipes, and basically dedicating their entire life to food prep. But here's the truth that completely flips this myth on its head. Raw meals are actually faster than cooked meals when you learn a few simple tricks and systems. Think about it. There's no waiting for the oven to preheat, no standing over a stove monitoring pots and pans, no cooking time, no cooling down period, and honestly, way less cleanup because you're not dealing with greasy pans and baked-on food. Once you understand the basics of raw meal prep and you set up some simple systems, you can have incredibly satisfying, nutritious meals ready in 5 minutes or less. And I'm not exaggerating. The absolute game changer for saving time on a raw vegan diet is bulk prepping your produce. And this is something I do religiously every few days. When I come home from the farmer's market or grocery store, I don't just throw everything in the fridge and deal with it later. I take 30 to 45 minutes right then to wash, dry, chop, and store everything properly so it's ready to grab and use throughout the week. I'll wash all my leafy greens, spin them dry in a salad spinner, and store them in containers lined with paper towels or clean kitchen towels to absorb excess moisture. This keeps them fresh for days and means I can just grab a handful of spinach or kale whenever I need it without any prep. I'll chop bell peppers, cucumbers, celery, and carrots into sticks or chunks and store them in glass containers with a little water at the bottom to keep them crisp. I'll spiralize several zucchinis at once and store the noodles in containers so they're ready for quick meals. I'll even pre-make some salad mixes with different combinations of greens and vegetables, so I can literally just grab a container, add some avocado and dressing, and have lunch ready in 2 minutes. The beauty of bulk prep is that you're doing the work once and benefiting from it all week long. That initial 45 minutes saves you hours throughout the week, because you're never starting from scratch. You're never standing in the kitchen at dinner time trying to figure out what to make. While you're already hungry and tired, everything is ready, everything is accessible, and meals become a matter of assembly rather than cooking. I also prep fruit the same way. I'll cut up melons, pineapple, and mango, store them in containers, and have fresh fruit ready for smoothies, snacks, or breakfast bowls. I'll portion out berries, grapes, and other fruits so they're easy to grab. This level of organization might sound excessive, but once you get into the rhythm, it becomes second nature, and the time savings are massive. Making big batches of staples is another essential time saver that I cannot recommend enough. Nut milk is a perfect example. Instead of making 1 cup of almond milk whenever I need it, I'll make a huge batch, maybe 6 to 8 cups at once, and store it in glass jars in the fridge. It takes maybe 10 minutes to blend soaked almonds with water and strain it through a nut milk bag. And then I have fresh nut milk for smoothies, chia pudding, and drinking straight for the next 3 to 4 days. Same thing with dressings and sauces. I'll make a big jar of tahini lemon dressing or cashew ranch or miso ginger dressing, and it lasts me for multiple meals throughout the week. These dressings take maybe 5 minutes to make in a blender, and having them ready to go means I can turn any bowl of vegetables into a delicious meal instantly. I do the same with energy balls. I'll make a huge batch of 50 or 60 energy balls using dates, nuts, cacao, coconut, chia seeds, whatever combination I'm feeling, and I store them in the fridge or freezer. They last for weeks, and they become my go-to snack when I need quick energy or something sweet. The concept of keeping grab-and-go snacks ready at all times is crucial for busy people. I always have containers of pre-portioned nuts, dried fruit, raw crackers, veggie sticks with hummus, fruit, and energy balls ready in my fridge. When I'm rushing out the door in the morning, I can grab a couple of these containers and know that I'm set for the day. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to prep anything. I just grab and go. This prevents me from getting caught without food and making poor choices out of desperation. It also means I'm never relying on convenience stores, vending machines, or fast food, which honestly takes more time than just having my own food ready. People think meal prep is time-consuming, but what's really time-consuming is driving to restaurants, waiting for food, sitting in drive-thrus, or wandering around a grocery store hungry trying to figure out what to buy. When you have systems in place, everything becomes faster and easier. Now let me give you some examples of simple no-cook meals that take 5 minutes or less. Because this is where raw veganism really shines. A huge salad with pre-washed greens, pre-cut vegetables, a sliced avocado, a handful of nuts or seeds. A pre-made dressing literally takes 3 to 4 minutes to assemble. You dump greens in a bowl, add toppings, drizzle dressing, toss, and eat. That's it. A smoothie with frozen fruit, greens, hemp seeds, almond milk, and maybe a date or some almond butter takes 10 minutes in a blender. Pour, blend, drink, rinse the blender. Done. Zucchini noodles with pre-spiralized zucchini, cherry tomatoes, fresh basil, olive oil, and lemon juice takes maybe 3 minutes to toss together. A fruit bowl with pre-cut fruit, some granola or nuts, and maybe a drizzle of almond butter takes literally 1 minute. Collard wraps with hummus, pre-cut veggies, avocado, and sprouts take about 5 minutes to assemble, and they're incredibly satisfying and portable. Chia pudding is another brilliant time saver that you can make the night before or even in the morning if you're patient. Mix chia seeds with almond milk, a little maple syrup, vanilla, and whatever flavors you want. Let it sit for 20 minutes or overnight, and you have a complete breakfast or snack ready to go. You can make multiple jars at once and have breakfast ready for several days. Veggie nori rolls are also super fast once you get the hang of them. Lay out a sheet of nori, spread some mashed avocado or hummus, add pre-cut vegetables and sprouts. Roll it up, slice if you want, and eat. The whole process takes maybe 5 minutes and you have a satisfying, nutrient-dense meal. Even more elaborate raw meals like raw pizza or raw lasagna can be partially prepped in advance. You can make the crust and dehydrate it over the weekend. Make the cashew cheese and marinara sauce in big batches, and then, when you want pizza, you just assemble and maybe warm it slightly in the dehydrator for an hour. The active prep time is still minimal because you're just putting pre-made components together. This is the beauty of raw cuisine. Once you have your building blocks ready, your nut cheeses, your sauces, your dehydrated crusts and crackers, your prepped vegetables, you can create restaurant-quality meals in the time it would take to wait for pizza delivery. I also want to talk about the mental shift that happens when you embrace simplicity in raw eating. We've been conditioned to think that meals need to be complicated, that they need multiple components and elaborate presentations. But some of my favorite and most nourishing meals are incredibly simple. A big bowl of fresh fruit, a platter of sliced tomatoes with avocado, sea salt, and basil, a handful of soaked almonds and some dates, celery sticks with almond butter. These are complete, satisfying, nutritious meals or snacks that require zero cooking and minimal prep. When you start viewing food this way, as fuel and nourishment rather than entertainment that needs to be complicated, you realize how little time raw eating actually requires. The cleanup factor is also something people don't consider when they're worried about time. When I make a raw meal, I'm usually only dirtying a cutting board, a knife, maybe a bowl or a blender. That's it. I can wash those few items into minutes, or I can just throw them in the dishwasher and be done. Compare that to cooking a traditional meal where you're dirtying multiple pots, pans, baking dishes, utensils, and you're scrubbing burnt food off surfaces. The cleanup alone from cooked meals can take 15 to 20 minutes. With raw meals, cleanup is so minimal that it barely registers as a task. This time savings adds up significantly over weeks and months. The bottom line is this: the idea that you don't have time for raw meals is based on a misunderstanding of what raw eating actually involves. It's not about spending hours in the kitchen making complicated gourmet dishes every day. It's about having fresh, whole ingredients prepped and ready, making big batches of staples that last all week, keeping grab-and-go snacks available, and assembling simple meals that take 5 minutes or less. When you set up these systems and embrace the simplicity of raw eating, you'll actually save time compared to cooking, and you'll have more energy and mental clarity to spend on the things that actually matter in your life. Don't let the time miss stop you from experiencing the incredible benefits of eating raw. With a little organization and the right approach, it's one of the most time-efficient ways to eat.